The story of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip's marriage began when they first met in 1934, when 8-year-old Elizabeth saw Prince Philip, then a Danish prince, during a school visit to England. However, their real connection started in 1943, when 16-year-old Elizabeth became captivated by Philip. Over time, the two developed a close bond, and by 1947, when Elizabeth was 21, they got engaged with the approval of their families. Their marriage marked a new era after World War II. On November 20, 1947, Queen Elizabeth married Prince Philip in a simple ceremony at Westminster Abbey. Despite challenges, including scrutiny of Philip's lower rank, their love and loyalty remained strong.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
Did you know how strict the royal family's rules really are? You might think it's a fairy tale life, but not quite. For example, if the king is in the room, no one sits until he does. Yep, no exceptions. Thinking of taking a selfie? Think again. Royals aren't allowed to take selfies in public. Wondering when dinner ends? The moment the king puts down his fork, everyone else stops eating too. And the Queen's famous handbag, it's not just for style. If she switches it to the other arm, it means this conversation is over. Being royal might sound glamorous, but freedom, that's a bit more regulated. Queen Elizabeth was out walking in casual clothes when a group of American tourists stopped her. They asked, "Have you ever met the Queen?" She smiled and pointed to her bodyguard. Nobody meets her all the time. They took a photo with her, still not realizing they just met the Queen herself.